Welcome back, everybody, to the Search Show 24/7. We're about to get into Spartacus Vengeance, Episode 3. So, let's get into it. Now, this episode, by far, to me, in the second season, is the best episode. It had a lot going for itself. It uh, put a lot of people in it. It put a lot of people's story up front, and got a lot of extra, plotting details and all that. Got a lot of it going and pushing for another episode. So I really like this episode a lot. Um, it had me on the edge of my seat, especially like the last 15 minutes were just crazy. And I think, like I said, it's just like season one. The first two episodes or season one were okay, and then it just started getting better. It just started getting better, and it just started getting better. So I think this is how they're doing the same kind of formula. The first two were okay, but now we're really getting into it, and the third and so on and so forth are just going to be excellent, 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 excellent. So I loved it a lot. Now the episode, it opens up, Spartacus, Crixus, and the rebels. They're freeing more slaves. They're trying to make their army even bigger, and in the process, Aragon, he finds out that Naevia is still alive by one of the guys he's about to kill, but you know what? He keeps it to himself and tells Crixus that Naevia is dead. And the reason he does this is because he believes that Crixus is going to jeopardize everybody's life because he's only after one person, and they need to be, surviving and doing other stuff. And Crixus is only thinking about himself and Naevia. And Aragon thinks that he's kind of blindsided, so he kind of gives, Crixus a little white lie, for the greater good. And at first when I was watching, I was like, God damn, that's kind of a dick move to do. But I understand both sides. I can't really choose sides because I love Crixus and you don't want to piss him off. But Aragon, he makes a good point too. And Spartacus is in between this because Spartacus is the leader, but Spartacus has to take Crixus' side because Spartacus understands how Crixus feel because Spartacus went through the same thing. He went through the same thing. So once they find out, that Aragon was lying, it's right back to it. It's right back to it. Crixus is back in the mode where he wants to go find her. He wants to see where she is, and they find out. They get a little tip off that they know where she's at. She's like in the mine, so they're going there. Aragon, he takes some people and say, "Yo, I don't want to be killed because of Crixus." So he kind of takes off and he takes a couple people with him. So I thought that was good. I thought that's going to bring a very high depth and very interesting story for next week's episode. And let me just say now, this week's episode side story was just phenomenal. The side story with Asher and Onimaeus was, oh, it was just so good. Asher, he's such a great character. He's such an evil person. It's so good to just see him back. And Onimaeus, man, my heart goes out to the guy because, now that he's been captured, he's taken basically a silence, a vow of silence. He's not speaking. He's not trying to give up no information. And this is pissing Asher off, man. He's like whipping Onimaeus with the whip, beating his ass, and he get it was one shot where Onimaeus gets stabbed by like a hot sword or some shit like that. Onimaeus ain't saying shit, man, but you feel for him. You feel for Onimaeus because he doesn't. He's still in that process where he doesn't know what to do with his life anymore. He just wants to die because everything that he loved and everything he cared about basically betrayed him. So he really has nothing to live for. So the silence thing is understandable, and that just pisses Asher off even more. And once Asher finds out how to get him to talk, and that's talking about his wife and Gannicus and how his wife had an affair with Gannicus. Now that was just, I was waiting for that. I was like, man, I hope. Once I saw Gaza Arena, I was like, man, I hope they bring this story back around because it's coming a time whenever Gannicus comes back, and Onimaeus finds out what really happened. As Crixus once said, they're gonna have words, and it's gonna be epic, and I can't wait to see it. So once Asher tells Anameus what really happened, Anameus kind of slips. He talks and he kind of tells Asher without even knowing that Spartacus and Crixus are on the look. They're going south to find Naevia, and that's how the last 15 minutes go crazy and all hell breaks loose. And before I get to like the last, the climax of this episode, I want to talk about another side story, and that's the writers kind of developed Mira a little bit more. They gave her a little spice this episode. She was a little hardcore, which I liked a lot, and she basically tells Spartacus like, yo, I know you loved your wife and stuff, but she's basically the past. I'm here right now. I do whatever it is to be with you. I'll fight and die to the end with you. I want to be by your side. And Spartacus, to me, he kind of shuns it a little bit, but he still hits that, which you're supposed to do because she still is hot. But it was good because she kind of had a little more oomph to her this episode. She got the information that she needed to find Naevia and stuff, so I like that. So thumbs up to her. And you know what, guys, tell me who you thought was, who you think's hotter, Spartacus' wife or Mira. So let me know, because I think Spartacus' wife is hot. So, but Mira, she's hot too. But I might go for Spartacus' wife. I don't know. I know she did, but she was hot in the first season. All right, now we've all been waiting for these last basically 15 minutes where they find out where Naevia is. They're going for it. They're doing a rescue mission, and it's like in the cave or whatever. And it's just, as soon as I found out it was in the cave, I was like, man, this is not going to end good. I can tell right now because once they got in the cave was small. There wasn't a lot of room to get around, and what I really liked about this episode, when they were in the cave and they saw these other slaves, Crixus, and it was like, come on now, we got to go. We need to find Naevia. But Spartacus was like, you know what? I'm coming back for you. No matter what, y'all just stay alive. I'm coming back. And, I like that because, Spartacus believes that no slave needs to be like this. Every slave needs to be free. So on his word, he said he's coming back. So hopefully he comes back on his word, and hopefully he frees them all. So we'll see how that goes. But when I say, man, it was intense in this last 15 minutes. It was intense. Just searching for her. They end up, finding her. And, when they find her, I had a little tear because, Crixus, man, that's what he's been waiting for, man. And the expression on his face was just priceless because they don't really go over the top with him just, just screaming, say, oh my God, I found her. It was very quiet, and just in his eyes and the way she was shaking, and when she saw him, it was just perfect. So I like that. And we get to see the first glimpse of the new Naevia, but I think she's still a beautiful woman. But let's have a moment of silence for the original Naevia because I had the biggest crush on her. And you know what, oh, that's just my little crush right there. So we're gonna have just a little 10-second just silence for Naevia, and then we're gonna go back to the show. So let's go. Whew, boy, I tell you, boy, that girl is fine. I mean, shit, she's so fine she can take all my money and she can get me pregnant. All right, that's how fine she is. I mean, whew, boy. But okay, anyway, let's get back to the show. Now, the 15 minutes, Crixus, he finds Naevia and stuff, so they're trying to escape. And as soon as he finds Naevia, he sees Asher around the corner, and I shit you not, Asher gives the greatest look I've probably ever seen in a TV show. He sees Crixus, Crixus yells at his name, Asher, and he just gives this smile, said, that, I got your ass, motherfucker, didn't I? So Asher with that, just that look and that little smile just made this whole episode even greater, and that was just a good scene. So they're running now, they're trying to escape, they're fighting off, and Spartacus and the rebels and everybody in Crixus, they all see that they're not going to all make it out in time, man. So somebody needs to stall them, and who jumps in? Crixus, man. Crixus, he jumps in, he says, Spartacus, take Naevia, get her to safety. And I was like, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But you know, Crixus, man, being that guy, man, he's got to do whatever he has to do to save his woman. That's what he does. He sacrifices himself, and you know he holds them off. But you know he ends up getting captured, man. I thought he was gonna get killed. I mean, it was them last couple seconds, man. I thought he was gonna die, man. I thought he was gonna die, but he ends up just getting hit in the back of the head. So that ends the episode. But I also want to talk about, you know, during, you know, the 15 minutes, they were flashing back to like the arena and stuff like that, and it was very intense. And it was like one guy against like four guys, and I thought that guy to me was like Gannicus or something, but I don't know because they never revealed it or anything. So that was just my little thought. So that might just be going out the window. But overall, it was an amazing episode. I liked it very much. It was my favorite episode in the new season. Please like this video, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought. Please tell me who you like the most, the old Naevia or the new Naevia. Do you like Spartacus' wife or Mira? So please tell me. And what else do I need to talk about? I don't know, but this is the Search Show 24/7. Be easy.